What's up guys, Matt with BleepinJeep. Today we're back working on the FC. Let's get started.
Come to the bed.
A lot of you wanted to see an update on the FC. You say I haven't been working on it in a while. It's true, I've been doing some other things, but I have been working on the FC on the off days or in the in-between days. It just seems like I haven't because it's all the little stuff. So I'm at the point right now where I'm working on things where you could work a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month and not even see a difference. Just little minute stuff that you can't see from the outside, right? It's that last stages of the project that really eat up your time and your wallet as well. But also it's a lot of little things that you just can't see, like plumbing, wiring, and just the little finishing details. But today I'm going to show you what I have done, what we need to do in the future, and all that stuff. Let's get started. When you use a fisheye, this is for all you guys taking pictures of yourselves and your ladies too. When you use a fisheye or a wide angle lens, it makes your nose look bigger and everything on the outside kind of stretches a lot. Same thing with a vehicle. The middle looks bigger and then it looks like it's curved or whatever. So depending on the angle, your vehicle or your face might look a whole lot different. You probably saw when we were at Ian Johnson's shop, we made this hole right here, and finally finished that up. So I put, well, I think Colt welded this piece up here, but then I put a piece of rebar in there and got it so that it opens up. I need to put some chains or something to stop it from going all the way down like so. So I'll have to do that yet, but I straightened it out and got it to where it will latch. Another thing that was a huge time waste was this right here. I tried to cope the bed with the cab, which it looks really nice. You can see I even coped that square tube, so I took that and I capped it off, but I made it also still in the shape of the cab corner, and then the top one is pretty flat, and then there's a piece of metal behind that. I'll probably end up capping the top of this off with the expanded steel like this to match here. But on the other side I haven't, let me take you over there. On this other side I haven't finished it yet because my thought process was I would stick a kind of like an M715, has that door that opens and it slides all the way through. I can't really have that up here unless it's higher. I figured I would just do one on one side. So I'm looking for an ammo can that's just wide enough. The problem with most ammo cans is they're too wide or too narrow. So I might either have to buy something or build something. Here's the three that I have. This one is too wide. This one is too long. This one is plastic. I might have to get one of those small ones, but then it's kind of too small and narrow. So I'm still trying to figure out what to do right there. And today I'm going to be working on finish welding this bed together. When we had it at Ian's, I just tack welded it together, and it needs to be finish welded and then seam sealed and all that good stuff. The radiator we have sitting here, I've started working on buying all the parts and pieces I need to plumb this radiator. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get from this hole, or this hose right here, all the way to the front of the engine, which is a long way. Same thing with the transmission cooler lines right here, which they don't have far to go. They just go right under there. But I need to buy some 90s to go right there. Those just came in the mail the other day. I need some sort of overflow tank. And what else? For the front, I brought home some of this metal. So this was like 6-inch wide, I think, and I brought some of that home right there. So the idea is to take that and stick it in here and shape it to the cab so that the front of the cab kind of matches the same fender design as the rear of the cab. One of the other things I've been working on is the floor pans. So on this side, it was pretty good, but this piece had rusted away. So I took that and welded a new piece on there. And on the other side, I had to completely rebuild this part. So there's a sheet there, kind of goes up the wall there and up the wall here. I had to bend these very particularly to make this shape around the floor of the FC. And then I kept the hole over here. I don't really need the hole, but I kept that just in case and built a steel plate just like factory to go there. I also got this. The original window wipers were vacuum actuated, and this is an electric actuator for the windshield wipers, which will be much nicer than that old vacuum stuff that never worked. On the back here, I've got this gas can, and my idea for this is to cut a hole in the bottom of it, make a little, what would you call that, like a nipple or something, so that I can then attach the hose here to the original gas tank. So what I'd like to do is be able to have this as the gas cap. Now what I'm not sure of, maybe some of you can help me out with this, since this is really a gas can, is that going to mess up because the gas cap has like a pressure relief or whatever. So I'm not sure if I need to make a gas cap up here. And then there's also the vent. I have to figure out what to do with the vent, which typically comes up right beside the gas tank nozzle and is under or right beside the gas cap. So how does that all work? What do I need to do for that? One of my other projects that I've been working on is this guy right here. You might have seen it on Instagram or the Face Spaces. What this is the steering column, and it zigzags around the brake pedal, and then there's the booster, which you've seen from the previous videos, and that goes to the booster. This right here, let me show you. I had to figure out how to get the brake switch to work. So the brake switch is right here. I welded that on a separate piece of steel, and when you press the brake pedal, it releases the button. So that's a factory button, and then there's a all thread right here with a piece of steel on it which releases that. So all that is mounted on this plate, which then this plate gets mounted to the underside of here on the firewall. There's 4 holes right there. Those are from factory, and then I'll have to attach it at the bottom as well, and all that kind of fishes through here and goes to the steering, which is inside that hole. There is that right angle box like you've seen in the past videos, and I need some new steering linkages. A couple people had mentioned that the steering's going to be a mess with all those turns and stuff. I don't think so, because it's still running off the factory box there. But if not, that box is tapped for hydro assist, so if it's difficult to steer, we'll just put hydro assist on there and that'll take care of the problem. So RCV axle shafts, Dana 44 front axle, we've got the Barnes truss there, all kinds of goodies. I still need to hook up some things on the engine right there. One of the pulleys was bad, and I need to figure out, that's going to be the hardest part right there, is getting that coolant fished all the way from the front to the rear. And this one too, this one's going to have to like snake through there somewhere. Shoo! Lots of work yet to do. The steering reservoir, the power steering fluid reservoir, needs to go up above the pump, so there's not much room above that, so I need to figure that out. And One of the hardest parts of this is going to be figuring out the linkages. So there's a few linkages that I have to have. One is the gas pedal, the throttle cable. So the gas pedal, it can't just go through the firewall. Like typically it would just go through here and pull on the throttle linkage, but no, there's nothing over there, so that has to get reversed around somehow and pull and then connect over here. So there's that. Plus then there's the shifter. So the automatic transmission needs a shifter, which I have. The factory shifter cable, it is right there. The problem is the shifter cable is not long enough to reach where you would need to shift it from, which is all the way up here. It only reaches to right here. So if you have any ideas for how to either lengthen that or an aftermarket one that's longer, it's got all these plastic pieces that hook up and make everything smooth and operational. So if it doesn't have that, like how do you get that all working? So that's another thing I need to solve. And then the transfer case shifter, I know that Novak used to make those. Do they still make transfer case shifter linkages? And if so, I'm going to need a really long one to go all the way up here. Wheels and tires, those are going to be easy to go on, but I'll put those on towards the end. I think I'm going to stick with this 2-inch lift for now. As you know, it's got that 2-inch lift that came with the LJ chassis, and I need to flex it out and all that before I figure out if that's too high. I'd like to go lower because this sucker is up pretty high. It's way up there, almost touching the ceiling. I'm going to have to take air out of the tires or pull the wheels off again to get it out of here when I am finished with it. But yeah, I think for the radiator my plan is to take some of that expanded metal, build a little hoop around the top of it and a little expanded metal cage around that, and that will protect the radiator. And then once I get all that finished, I think my last step will be to make that hoop that goes around the top, the 3 hoops, so that I can put like a roof rack tent or whatever on top of that. And of course, spare tire for the rear. I need a rear bumper. If any of you guys have something you think I should use or know of a company that I think I should use, let me know. Rear bumper and front bumper. That would look cool on this thing. I probably have space, since I'm not putting the radiator in the front, I probably have space for a radiator to go inboard of the front bumper if I want to do that. And then you'll notice that this hole right here, you can see right into the cab, so I need to fix the heater. This thing's not going to have an air conditioner, but it would be nice to have a heater. So this is the heater core box. Everything seems to work. Except for, I'm not sure if it's leaking or not. So somewhere in here, there it is. That is the heater core, and they don't make those anymore. So I need to pressure test that, see if it's leaking, and stick that in there, lube up all these connections and stuff to make sure that all of the doors and things work. I got this this Dayco radiator hoses to try to help with that. These are the Gold Label Quick Fit hose. Those are the ones I like the best. Those are nice. They're really flexible. You can flex these pretty good. These are not quite as flexible. Although they are Gold Label, they're not the Quick Fit. So as soon as you flex those hard, they just kink. But I'll have to probably use a couple of those and some tubing as well to route that. And I have some 90 degrees coming, so I should be able to go 90 down and then straight out from the bottom over there. Right now, what I was just working on before I started this video was this little panel. When we were at Ian's, we cut that so that we could have access to the fuel pump. So whoever wins this thing, if you ever need to change the fuel pump, it should be a fairly simple process. So I've got this plate, and what I do is I save these from my beadlock wheels. They usually come with a few sets extra of these, and they're just press-in inserts. Don't look at my thumb, it's nasty. These are just press-in inserts that press in, and so what I've been doing is drilling that hole to just the right size, and then I'll take a bolt and pull that through just like you would a wheel stud, but then you have a female end to put the bolt into. Lots and lots of things yet to be done to this, and like I said, they're all just little tiny things that take up time but don't really make the vehicle look different from the outside. I think the only thing yet to do that's going to make this sucker look different from the outside is the wheels and tires and that hoop that's going around the top. And I did get the windshield actually, but I'm not going to put that in until towards the end, because I would hate to accidentally damage the windshield while I'm building this thing. And then of course there's paint. I'm going to need some help painting this to make the patina match the cab. So what I want to do is make that patina on the back. It's already kind of starting to get some surface rust, but what I want to do is make it look very similar to this so that it matches across. If you're still here, you must be a true fan. So since you are a true fan, let me give you a little tour of another project I've got going on, and that is that shop right there. You want to see inside of it, I guess? We'll go through the inside. They just got the garage door on the other day, so there is going to be a giant hole right here that just hasn't happened yet because the door wasn't on yet. And if you come through here, you're now in the shop. But let me open the door so that we can get some light up in here. Oh. Now we have some light. Alright, so right there in the middle of that door is going to be a man door, so that's kind of cool. And it's on a slider, like a barn door, so it slides open this way. And then if you walk into the shop here, I've been working on getting it all insulated, getting all the insulation in. So decided to go with fiberglass insulation, because after doing the math and how much I paid on that other shop over there, it would have been over 10 grand just to spray foam in here. Much cheaper doing the fiberglass. I still need to get the walls up, the ceiling material, which I'm going to do steel. I'm going to do steel all along the walls here, probably white and then black along the ceiling, just to kind of hide the ceiling. And then, like I said, this hole right here will get opened, and that will be the entryway to the old shop. And then there's some office space and stuff in there. The walls are 14 foot. The ceiling is a little higher than that because it's vaulted. So it's probably, I don't know, 20 foot there in the middle. Or maybe it's probably less than that. 16, 14, 15, 16, 17 foot in the middle. Something like that. So yeah, there's old shop, new shop, old shop, new shop, and added more space to park crap Jeeps that don't run. Yay! What's keeping me from finishing the new shop, you say? Well, time for one, but two, we have the electrical finished, but we have to put the walls up before they will turn power on and do the final electrical inspection. So it's been kind of a pain in the butt, because basically you have to finish your entire shop before you can get power in here. So that's what I'm working on now. I need to get the walls in here and the outlet covers on before they'll turn on power. And the reason for that is because we're putting new power in here, so we're running it from the street. And then part of the problem with that is they won't let me have two powers on the same building since these are connected together. So we have to run power now from this box over to the old box in the old building and cut off the power differences between the house and both shops. So I have to have the walls up here, otherwise I'll only have 45 days before they turn the power off to everything, including my old shop. So it's been kind of a hassle and a pain in the butt, but huge thanks to Scott for helping me out with the electrical and all that. He came in and wired everything up. We've got outlets everywhere. We have 220 everywhere, or 240. We have switches, and eventually we're going to have balconies here, and we're going to have recessed lights up in the ceiling. So it's going to be a nice place when it's done. That won't be for a while, but maybe eventually I'll have enough stuff in here I can go ahead and turn on the power. I just need to get some walls on there. Now remember, we are giving this thing away. If you want to enter that, just check out BleepinJeep.com/giveaway. All the details are over there, but basically all you have to do is be a Patreon supporter, a YouTube member. Just click that join button below this video, or you can just send me a letter in the mail. So 3 easy ways to enter. If you like this video, make sure to check out these videos because they're even awesomer. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. I'll answer them, either about the FC or the shop. We'll see you next time, guys.